What's happening, guys? Furious Pete here, and was asked to comment on this guy named Boston Lloyd. I guess a lot of YouTubers have been talking about this guy who did what we call an epic steroid transformation. Now this is, it's not unhuman. Well, it is unhuman. It is physically impossible to do something like this naturally, and I think that it's physically impossible to ever achieve such a physique naturally, because if you guys haven't seen the pictures, or if you haven't seen the thumbnail to this video, he went from looking like this to looking like this in less than a year. Now that's fucked. That really is fucked. Now I really giggle and I seriously laugh my face off when people say that I've done steroids and that the only way that I transformed my body was through steroids. Look at his body. Look at mine. Mine took like 8-10 years to do, and this guy did it in less than a year with roids. No, I've never done steroids. I choose to be natural because I seriously have no need to do them. I'm not stepping on stage. I don't want to become an IFBB pro bodybuilder. I'm not against people that want to, but yeah, that put aside, because that's probably the #1 comment that comes right away is that, oh Pete, why are you talking about this guy if you did him anyways? Yeah, okay, anyways, that put aside, no, I've never done them. If I did, my calves would actually be a decent size. Now onto Mr. Lloyd. First of all, I'm gonna give this guy props for coming forward with his entire story and explaining exactly what he did. You know, it takes a lot of balls for a lot of people to come forward and be truthful about all this shit, but it is clear, obviously, that he did that looking at his images, because it is physically impossible to do something like that naturally, no matter how good your genetics are. Now what's interesting is that he did a 30-minute video explaining all the drugs that he did. And listen, I think that from the way he was talking, I don't think he really had time to eat. All he really took into his body was drugs. That's what it sounds like. But it's insane as to the amount of drugs that he did. That's what really blows my mind. He was explaining everything. And then he was taking synthol as well. If you don't know what synthol is an oil that you inject into your body to make certain body parts look larger. So he was like, yeah, I'm gonna put 3 cc's here, 3 cc's here, 3 cc's here, 3 cc's here, 3 cc's here. It was just insane. In fact, he was injecting himself so much with drugs that he eventually ran out of spots to actually inject himself with, and he needed, I think he was saying, his ex-girlfriend to look for spots somewhere on his body to actually inject this stuff. And when you're doing something like that, when you're injecting yourself with that much stuff, then you gotta really think about whether it's worth it to do it in the long run, or really worth it to do it at all. Because, okay, you're gonna step on stage, but how much has your life shortened already? Like this guy, when he was talking online, he could barely catch his breath. I mean, he was talking like, okay, and then I did this, and then I did that. Like, it was insane. Like, he definitely didn't, like, I don't think he did cardio while he was doing all this stuff, because or simply the drugs are shutting down everything even within his body. It does seem like he knows what he's doing, because he did transform his body. However, putting that many chemicals into your body is never good for you. It can never be good for you. So he can never really say that he knows what he's doing, yes, but it's never going to be good for him using that much shit. So what do I think about this transformation? I think it's awesome to see. I think it's crazy to be able to show the world what chemicals can do to your body and transform it. I don't necessarily think it was a great idea for him to publicly say all the drugs that he was doing. I think that's what his name is, Boston Lloyd. If it's not Boston Lloyd, then that's smart, obviously, because most of those chemicals that he's putting into his body are not legal. So therefore, putting that out there is not necessarily the smartest thing in the world, because, well, not only is he killing himself, he might just, you know, get in a lot of trouble with the law. So I think it was ballsy and really cool that this guy actually came out and talked about what he did and the fact that, you know, you really can't give false hope to people that saying that you can go from this to this naturally. No, you have to use certain drugs in order to get from this to this. But at the end of the day, it's kind of, you kind of start to think that shit, based on all the fucking food that I eat and all the training that I do, would I really be this wide if I did use drugs? Would I not fit through the door? Would I be an IFBB pro? Very good question. Very good question that I don't even care what the answer is to, because I'll never really do, I have no need to ever do roids. But props to this guy for coming out with his story and talking about it. I think it's insane to do something like this, but it's awesome that he talked about it. That's all I really want to say. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Stay sexy, stay hungry, and get laid, my friends.